Did you know that simple mistakes in the kitchen could turn your eggs from a superfood into a hidden health hazard? Eggs are often praised for their high-quality protein and wealth of essential vitamins and nutrients. But if they're not prepared and handled correctly, they can actually become harmful to your health. What many people don't realize is this: whether eggs are good for you or bad for you depends almost entirely on how you cook, store, and consume them. In today's video, we're diving into 5 common egg mistakes that can quietly sabotage your health, especially for older adults. Some of these might surprise you, especially if you've been preparing eggs the same way for years, without a second thought. But once you learn how to avoid these pitfalls, you'll be able to enjoy eggs with confidence, knowing you're getting all the benefits without the hidden risks. Stick with us until the end, because this isn't just about avoiding food safety issues. It's about simple changes that can have a big impact on your overall well-being. Mistake number 1: overcooking eggs. One of the most common mistakes people make is overcooking their eggs. While eggs are rich in protein, healthy fats, and vital nutrients, cooking them at very high temperatures can damage their nutritional value and even create harmful compounds. When you fry eggs until they brown, boil them until the yolks turn grayish-green, or scramble them over high heat, you're exposing them to oxidation. This process can lead to the formation of oxidized cholesterol, a compound that's been linked to inflammation and an increased risk of heart disease. Have you ever noticed a strong sulfuric smell after boiling eggs too long? That odor is a sign of overcooking. It occurs when sulfur in the whites reacts with iron in the yolks to form iron sulfide. While this doesn't make the eggs toxic, it's a clear signal that some nutrients have been damaged in the cooking process. Over time, regularly eating overcooked eggs may contribute to long-term health concerns, especially for older adults who are already more vulnerable to inflammation-related conditions. Take Robert, for example. At 76, he'd been eating eggs daily, frying them until they had crispy edges, thinking it enhanced the flavor. But over time, he started noticing digestive discomfort and frequent heartburn. After learning about the risks of oxidized cholesterol, Robert switched to cooking his eggs over low heat, gently scrambling them instead. Within just a few weeks, he experienced less bloating and had more energy throughout the day. Overcooking eggs also destroys delicate nutrients like vitamin B12, folate, and antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, which are essential for brain and eye health. So even if you're eating eggs regularly, you might not be getting the full benefits if you're cooking them improperly. The good news: you don't have to stop eating eggs. Just cook them more gently. Boiling lightly, poaching, or soft scrambling eggs helps retain their nutrients and reduces oxidation. Even if you prefer frying, using low heat and avoiding browning can make a huge difference. Small changes like these can go a long way in keeping your eggs both delicious and nourishing. Mistake number 2: eating raw or undercooked eggs. Some people believe eating raw or undercooked eggs is the best way to get maximum nutrition. But what they don't realize is that this comes with serious health risks, especially for seniors. While raw eggs do contain protein, vitamins, and minerals, they can also carry harmful bacteria like salmonella, which causes severe food poisoning. And for older adults who often have weaker immune systems, fighting off infections becomes much more difficult. What might be a minor illness for someone younger could quickly become a serious condition for a senior. You may be consuming raw eggs without even realizing it. Through foods like homemade mayonnaise, raw cookie dough, or runny yolk eggs. While salmonella contamination is relatively rare, It's not something to ignore. Symptoms of infection include fever, stomach cramps, diarrhea, and dehydration. And for older adults, these symptoms can escalate quickly, sometimes requiring hospitalization. Many assume that store-bought eggs are always safe, but even clean-looking eggs can harbor bacteria if they haven't been stored or handled properly. Take Margaret, a 68-year-old who loved starting her mornings with a raw egg smoothie. She believed it was the healthiest way to get nutrients, until one day she was hit with severe stomach pain and nausea that lasted for days. After a doctor visit, she was diagnosed with salmonella poisoning. She was shocked to discover that the eggs she trusted were the cause. After that experience, she switched to fully cooked eggs and hasn't looked back since. Margaret never had another incident after switching to fully cooked eggs. And the best part? She continued receiving all the same nutrients, but without the unnecessary health risk. Another important reason to avoid raw eggs is a compound called avidin, which naturally occurs in egg whites. Avidin binds to biotin, an essential B vitamin that supports metabolism, nerve function, and the health of your skin and hair. When eggs are eaten raw, avidin can block your body's ability to absorb biotin, potentially leading to deficiencies over time. Fortunately, cooking deactivates avidin, allowing your body to take full advantage of the nutrients eggs provide. Some people argue that raw eggs from organic or free-range sources are safe to eat. But here's the truth. Any egg, regardless of how it's sourced, can carry harmful bacteria. The only reliable way to protect yourself is by ensuring your eggs are fully cooked. Safe options include scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, or poached eggs that are cooked until both the whites and yolks are firm. If you really enjoy runny yolks, using pasteurized eggs can help reduce the risk, but thorough cooking is always the safest approach, especially for seniors. If you've made it this far in the video and are finding these insights helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're still watching. And if you haven't already, subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss a video from Elders Health Essentials. Your support helps us keep bringing you practical, trustworthy advice to help you stay healthy and informed. Mistake number 3, storing cooked eggs improperly. Many people give little thought to how they store eggs after cooking, but improper storage can turn a healthy meal into a breeding ground for bacteria. When cooked eggs are left at room temperature for too long, or not stored in the right conditions, harmful pathogens like salmonella, listeria, and E. coli can start to multiply rapidly. This becomes especially dangerous for older adults who are more susceptible to foodborne illnesses and complications. If you've ever left a plate of scrambled eggs sitting on the counter for a few hours and decided to eat them later, you might have unknowingly taken a risk. Once eggs enter the temperature danger zone, between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, bacteria can begin to grow in just a couple of hours. To reduce your risk, always refrigerate cooked eggs promptly in an airtight container. Hard-boiled eggs should be eaten within 1 week, while scrambled or fried eggs are best enjoyed within 3 to 4 days. Consider George, a 72-year-old who liked to prep a big batch of scrambled eggs each week to save time. He stored them in a loosely covered container in the fridge and reheated a portion each morning. But after dealing with frequent stomach aches and nausea, he realized his food storage habits might be to blame. Once he started making smaller batches and using airtight containers, his digestive troubles disappeared. Another hidden risk is cross-contamination. Cooked eggs placed near raw meat, unwashed produce, or other potentially contaminated items in the fridge can absorb bacteria. Many people assume that cooked food is safe, but once it cools, It's just as vulnerable to contamination as raw food. One mistake that often goes unnoticed is improper reheating. If you've microwaved leftover eggs and noticed a rubbery texture or unpleasant smell, that's a sign they've been overheated. This not only affects texture and taste, it can also destroy nutrients. A better approach is to reheat eggs gently on the stove over low heat. Add a splash of water or broth to help maintain moisture. If you must use a microwave, reheat in short intervals, stirring occasionally to prevent overcooking. If you want to avoid foodborne illness and get the most out of your eggs, remember, how you store, reheat, and handle them is just as important as how you cook them. Mistake number 4, using damaged or expired eggs. One of the most overlooked dangers is using cracked, expired, or poorly stored eggs. Even if an egg looks fine from the outside, it could still pose a health risk, especially if it's by its prime or has a crack that allows bacteria to enter. This is particularly important for older adults whose immune systems aren't as strong as they once were. Infections that a younger person might recover from easily can lead to more serious complications in seniors. Many people rely on the expiration date printed on the egg carton, but storage conditions can cause eggs to spoil before that date or allow them to stay good a little longer. The best way to tell if an egg is still fresh is with the simple water test. Fill a bowl with cold water and gently place the egg inside. If it sinks and lays flat, it's fresh. If it stands upright, it's still safe, but should be used soon. If it floats, it's best to throw it out. Let's talk about Evelyn, a cautious 74-year-old who always tried to eat healthfully. One morning, she cracked an egg into her pan and noticed a slightly off smell. She brushed it off and cooked it anyway. Later that day, she began experiencing nausea and stomach cramps. A doctor's visit confirmed she had food poisoning from that single bad egg. The lesson? Don't ignore the warning signs. Trust your senses, and if in doubt, toss it out. It's better to be safe than sorry. From that day forward, Evelyn made the water test part of her routine, and she hasn't had another issue since. Another factor many people overlook is how eggs are handled before they even reach your kitchen. If eggs are exposed to the wrong temperatures, whether during transit, in the store, or even in your own fridge, they can develop condensation. This moisture creates the perfect environment for bacteria to thrive. To prevent this, always store your eggs in the coldest part of the refrigerator, not in the door. The door is subject to frequent temperature changes, which can compromise egg safety over time. Cracked eggs are another hidden danger. Even tiny hairline cracks can allow bacteria to slip inside. If you notice a cracked egg when you get home, or if one breaks in the carton, it's best to throw it away. It's just not worth the risk. Also, trust your senses. If an egg has an unusual odor or discoloration, don't use it. These are clear warning signs that the egg has gone bad. If you're still with us and finding this information helpful, please comment number 4 below so we know you're here. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss more helpful videos like this one. Your support means a lot. It keeps us going and helps us bring more health insights straight to your screen. Mistake number 5. Cooking eggs with unhealthy oils. One of the most common mistakes people make when cooking eggs is choosing the wrong cooking oil. Eggs themselves are packed with high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients. But if you cook them in unhealthy oils, you could be turning a nutritious meal into one that triggers inflammation and long-term health problems. Highly processed oils like margarine, vegetable oil, soybean oil, corn oil, and canola oil break down at high temperatures. When this happens, they produce harmful compounds, including trans fats and oxidized lipids. These substances have been linked to increased inflammation, heart disease, and even cognitive decline, especially in older adults. Unlike natural fats, these harmful oils interfere with how your cells function, potentially causing long-term damage over time. For seniors, reducing inflammation is critical, as it's a root cause of many age-related illnesses like arthritis and cardiovascular disease. Let's talk about Frank, a 78-year-old who had always cooked his eggs in vegetable oil. He never thought twice about it. Oil is oil, right? But once he learned about the dangers of seed oils, he made the switch to olive oil and butter. Within a few weeks, he felt a real difference: less bloating after meals, better digestion, and more energy overall. He didn't change what he ate, just how he cooked it. And that small shift made a big impact. Another issue with bad oils is their low smoke point, the temperature at which they start to break down and form harmful compounds. Oils with low smoke points become unstable when heated, releasing free radicals that damage your cells and accelerate aging. To avoid this, choose heat-stable, healthy fats like butter, ghee, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil. These options enhance the flavor and provide nutrients that support brain health, heart function, and overall wellness. If you prefer a lighter taste, avocado oil is a fantastic alternative. It has a high smoke point and is rich in monounsaturated fats. The takeaway here is simple. It's not just what you eat, it's how you prepare it. Eggs can be one of the healthiest foods in your diet, but only if they're cooked in a way that supports rather than harms your body. Final thoughts. Now that we've walked through these 5 common mistakes, take a moment to reflect on how you've been preparing and eating eggs. Eggs are incredibly nutritious, but the way they're handled, cooked, and stored can be the difference between supporting your health or unknowingly harming it. If you tend to overcook your eggs, try lowering the heat to preserve nutrients and avoid oxidation. If you've been eating eggs raw or undercooked, consider switching to fully cooked versions to reduce your risk of illness. If you're not storing eggs properly, make sure they stay refrigerated in airtight containers and are eaten within safe time frames. If you've never checked your eggs for cracks or freshness, the water test is an easy step that can protect your health. And finally, if you're still cooking eggs in refined oils, switching to healthier fats like olive oil or ghee can reduce inflammation and boost nutrient absorption. Your body depends on the food you eat. Small changes in your kitchen can lead to better digestion, more energy, and greater long-term wellness. It's not about giving up eggs. It's about enjoying them in a way that supports your health. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you learned something helpful, leave a comment below and tell us which tip you'll be trying out first. Your thoughts matter, and we love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could benefit. Your support helps us continue making content to inform and inspire seniors like you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.